It is Tuesday evening. Tuesday evening is the Tile Happy Hour. We want to welcome everybody from all across the nation and the world to the Tile Happy Hour. It is a unique night tonight. Once again, John has left me, and I am by myself for a short period of time, but it's an exciting evening because we're going to meet some new people and speak to some old people. But first, I want to thank you for being here. Tile and stone is my life. It is what I've done for the last 20 years professionally, and I'm just excited about the opportunity to talk to you, everyone out there in interweb land. Whether you're watching live tonight or watching on a playback, I'm here and I'm watching like screens. I've got screens everywhere. And if you comment live, I can see it, whether you're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I even hijacked John's LinkedIn and John's page. So I'm focusing on that. So don't be a stranger. Talk to me. Let me know what's going on in the tile world and where you are tonight, where you're watching from, so that we can have a great conversation about tile and stone. What's neat tonight is if you've been watching the show or seen probably one of our most popular programs is the time that we helped a good friend of mine out, Josh of all trades, on YouTube on his demo. And lucky enough, we are working on trying to get this project done. What is up, Chris Sloan? Good to see you this evening. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you remember that episode, Josh was in the process of demoing out his bathroom. Actually, I'll just be honest. I think we pushed him into demoing it. He mentioned it. I got him live on the air, and he said he promised his wife. And literally, I think, I'm not going to say she bribed me to push him into doing it, but with our episode, we got him in there. And if you'll remember from that episode, one of John's colleagues in New York City, Nava, jumped in and said, "Hey, I'll help you out." And they connected online or via email, and Josh got started demoing, and there was some design stuff going back and forth. Well, tonight, live on the air, Nava is with us and Josh is with us. We're going to get an update on his project and maybe a little bit of inside information from Nava about, what are you looking for when you first take on a client, or some of the pitfalls, maybe when someone walks in and says, "I want to retile my bathroom or my house." I'd love to hear those things, because as a contractor, I was not normally included in those things. So that is tonight's show. Tonight's show is an introduction to Nava and a thank you. And then we're going to bring Josh in and we'll say, "Hey, where are you? What have you done?" And try to get him past the finish line. But a couple little things that I want to take care of. First, once again, where are you watching from? I'm watching the comments come in. And also, if you remember correctly, we made the announcement not too long ago. It was actually National Tile Day. It was a couple of weeks ago that we had gotten invited back to Coverings to do the podcast live there. We're very excited about that. Coverings is only about 6 weeks away in Atlanta, Georgia this year. So if you're going to Coverings, give us a thumbs up. Let me know that you're going to be there. I want to see you there and come say hey. But they asked us to do the podcast again this year. So we didn't offend anybody too bad last year. And so this year we are jumping into the podcast table, and we should be able to broadcast live on the air on Tuesday the 23rd at high noon. And we're going to talk about digital marketing. We're going to talk about digital marketing with some two opposite ends of the industry, an influencer / contractor, Nathan, and Sharon with Laticrete, who's working on their digital marketing for Laticrete. And that's, Laticrete's worldwide. They're big. So that's going to be a great conversation about digital marketing. How's it affect your business? How can it help your business? And we're super excited about that. It is Coverings is, if you're not familiar with it, one of the biggest nationwide or United States tile and stone show, and that's tile and stone from all over the world. You're not just going to see tile from America. You're going to see tile from Italy, Spain, Asia, everywhere. And it really brings into view how large our industry is, how diverse our industry is. And it's a great time. And for me, I just like to go and nerd out and go to all the technical talks about how this thin set works with that. But that's just me. And I'm normally with the other nerds. But regardless, it's a good time. I hope to see you there. John will be there with me. John, if you're listening, he said something about being on a bus, and he tried to call in on a bus, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But once again, your comments are valuable. And even if you're watching on a playback, we still read the comments. We still want to answer them. We want to help you with your installation. Ask us a design question. Ask us an installation question. And hey, if it's good enough, you can be online with us too. But first, let me get started here with Nava Slavin. She jumped in and helped Josh out with our design as we were working through this DIY project. Now, she's a designer from New York City, has an architectural degree, award-winning in all of the right places. And I want to thank her for being a part of the Tile Happy Hour and joining us tonight. Nava, welcome, and good to see you this evening.
Thank you so much.
It's we've exchanged emails, but John knows you. I don't know if that's good or bad.
All good.
But I remember when we were doing the episode with Josh, and I saw your stuff in the comments. I didn't know who you were. That's because I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm not familiar with that area. But after we got offline, I said somebody reached out to Josh while we were online, and I was like, well, that's awesome. And John told me who you were, and I was like, well, that's amazing. That's like getting a call from American Idol and saying, hey, let me help you figure out how to sing. So we appreciate you listening. Number one, thank you. And sharing the love of tile and stone. And your resume is amazing. But tell me what you love about the tile and stone industry, and kind of how you fell into where you are today.
Let me just first tell you something that I don't even know if John knows, but I knew Tile Bar when they very, very, very beginning, when they started out and came into a very large showroom that I used to have in Roslyn, New York.
Okay.
And they told me they're starting a new business. They have a little warehouse in Brooklyn, and they would love it if I can show some of their tile because they're just starting out and they're looking to expand. And if you know what Tile Bar is today, they sure expanded in a big, big way. And I'm so proud of them, you know.
Oh, well, thank you. Who came to you? Was it Eli and Chaim or Steve?
Steven, yes, all three of them.
All three of them. The three, I'm not going to say the Three Stooges. They're my bosses.
They were so nice. They were so young, you know, and I said, oh, they're starting out. It's so nice to help them out, you know.
Well, thank you for I'll thank you because without those commitments,
these showrooms are, and how beautiful the tile is and everything else. It's just so nice to see.
Yeah, I think I'll toot our own horn a little bit. We've and I'm not a design person. I'm a contractor. So as I've said 100 times on this show, I can't even match my clothes. So they don't let me pick tile, but I know how to install it, or I know how to lead you the right way.
And redesigners can't live without you guys. So.
Well, thank you. But our product team with Eli leading that charge, they have really curated some great products, and thank you for jumping on board early.
Yeah,
and
doing
early. That. Yes, way early. Chaim, he tells me some of those early stories, and I love listening to him. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and I love to hear the against all odds stories. We talk about when we went to coverings, and when they were first starting out, probably when they would come talk to you, nobody wanted to talk to them. And now they can't get around coverings because everybody wants to talk to them.
Everybody, yes. They've been to many shows, many shows.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the design process. That is something I've, other than, me trying to figure it out on my own and looking at pictures and just saying, I'll do that. That's kind of how I design something. What is when you're taking something that's a blank canvas,
Mm-hmm.
what are the steps that you go through to kind of figure out what somebody wants?
So I think that being a good designer is someone who pretty much analyzes the client before. In other words, you have to be a psychologist first.
Okay.
So you first have to really get to know your client as fast as possible. Sometimes it takes a meeting, sometimes it takes a little bit longer. But once you kind of get the feel of what the client is going for, you start to imagine what you want to do. It depends on whether or not they just want to replace things the way they are, or if they mostly not. Mostly the people that come to me, broken walls for sure. but some people just want to, revamp whatever they have, and we just help them with color and selections of materials, etc. But most of the time, it's they come to me because they want to make an old house look today. And they come to us to give them an idea. So we start out with just a layout, and we start a conversation from there. We don't get into color and all that stuff until later on. Once we kind of figure out the layout and the process of how we're going to get this done, then we help them with all the different materials, such as tile, faucets, plumbing, et cetera, et cetera.
Gotcha. Now, if somebody comes in and says, I am craftsman contemporary, I don't even know what that means, but does that steer you in a direction, or do
yes.
are you looking at something different?
So my projects are all over the place. I mean, it goes anywhere from very traditional to extremely contemporary and in between. A lot of people are in between now, actually, because it's kind of that period.
Yeah.
And so I definitely love both very old and very new. So it's easy for me to go one way or the other, and even do two jobs at the same time that are completely different. And I love that. That's what I enjoy about my work, is that it's just so much fun to be able to create all these different things for different people. And
I feel like that sometimes. Hey, John Tedesco, I see you waving over there. I feel like that a little bit as a contractor. It was like, because you would go to a show and you'd see this really cool material. Well, you can only install that in your house once, and then the next you can't just keep demoing stuff. So I would think that part of your job is being able to see those cool things and being able to apply it to somebody else's building. And the good thing is it's on their dime, and still building that cool project and being able to keep doing that, because obviously we can't do that in our own house, in our own world, or we'd never finish anything, never be able to live in anything.
Yeah, no, we want to make the places timeless, so they don't have to do it every 10 years.
Right.
So I try to guide my clients to pick the items that are hard to change, sort of, what's the word? So it's not something that they're going to hate tomorrow. As an example of one of my clients that wanted to do an all pink kitchen, and you don't want that. What you want to do is you want to put accessories that are maybe in pink, if that's what you love, but the rest of it has to be very elegant and very good for everything. So
evergreen is kind of what we say in the digital world.
Yeah. So this way, when you get tired of something, you can replace a small thing. You can change the paint color. You can change maybe even a countertop or a couch, but you don't really want to change the whole thing all over again.
Exactly. I my wife and I, seems like we always are able to get with the trend when the trend is leaving. So it's like we just repainted
a lot of people do that. For instance, now everybody was doing marble in terms of design, like the porcelain that looks like marble. And now I'm starting to hear, all right, I've done this, been there, it's been a few years. What's new? you know?
Well, I know we just repainted our upstairs in the cool colors. And I was like, I picked out the paint color, picked out all this stuff. And then I started hearing rumors that everything's going warm again. I'm like, well, I just repainted everything.
So what I always tell my clients is, don't do what's in fashion. It's not a dress.
Yeah.
Do something that you love, and then you'll always be happy, because it doesn't matter what the fashion is in terms of inside your house.
That's very true. Very true. Well, that's interesting, especially coming from the opposite side and trying to figure out these things. And I know some contractors feel like the design and the architectural process is an adversarial process, and I've seen contractors that kind of treat it that way. But I've always thought that if the contractor and the designer and the architect can all get on the same page,
absolutely,
it really helps the project. Number one, I think it moves quicker.
Yes.
Even though there may be some ideas to save money, I have found even if you go with what everybody is on the same page with, you'll save time and everybody's going to be happier in the end. And that was always my philosophy. It was always to try to get on board early, get everybody on the same page. So you've got a team of four: a designer, an architect, the contractor, and the owner, that are all working towards the same goal, rather than either one of them saying, well, I need to save money here, I need to save money here, or I want to cut this corner, or I know some. Hey, the design, the dream is, that's where you get the business over and over again, is fulfilling those dreams.
Yes, and without a doubt.
And so I love that. I loved that part of it, and being working with those teams and all around the Southeast when I was a contractor. And if I was in I don't know if I could work in New York. It's traffic's too much for me.
New York City for sure.
Yeah. Well, so my friend Josh, I've known him for a very long time, and he's got a YouTube channel that he and I go back and forth, and I watch his stuff and comment on my stuff. And so when he started talking about this bathroom, I said, well, Josh, come on the show. If nothing else, I can help you live on the air, and it'll at least give us some show content. So that's what Josh agreed to do. And Josh is back tonight, so I'm going to bring him on. Josh, good to see you.
Meet Nava. I didn't even know you knew one another. I thought he was just a random guy that chimed into the show.
Yeah, I'll take it.
He could. John didn't know him, but I think what had happened, and Josh, you correct me if I'm wrong, we had a guest lined up, and the guest canceled last minute. And I said, listen, I know this guy. I think it'll be an interesting episode. Everybody loves a good DIY. That's why HGTV is on the air all the time. Yeah. And I said, let's talk Josh through his installation. So Josh, good to see you back. I've seen some of your pictures. I've seen some of your videos. So give us a quick update of where you are.
Let's see. The last time we talked, I think I had just done demo, or just kind of said I was done with demo. Since then, I moved into electrical stuff. So a lot of those pictures that you saw, I mean, I know it's not tile. I haven't got to the tile yet. I promise I'll get there. But,
that's okay.
Did a bunch of electrical, did a bunch of kind of insulation-y type things. And then just a lot of, we started calling in contractors this last couple of weeks to just kind of get some ideas and see what everybody thought. And most importantly, see how much it's going to cost. So
that is always a thing. Well, I know last time we talked, you were a little bit concerned about load bearing walls and moving walls. And I see you sent me a drawing today, which is a little bit different than what you and Nava talked about early on.
Right.
And so I'm assuming some of those things were just easier to kind of leave the structure into place and kind of work around that. Is that a correct assessment?
That's right. Nava's original design blew my mind, because she thought, outside the box on some of the places we had showers and stuff. She was like, just move these walls here. And we're like, whoa, you can do that? So we started getting into it, and
I think this is her original design.
That was her original design. Essentially expanding our shower area, and taking,
which always sounds like a good idea.
Right, taking some from a closet and from from both closets actually. So we started like kind of going with that, and we brought in the contractors and found out a couple of those walls are load-bearing walls. So, and one is right above our water heater. So
Yeah,
I don't think
that
it's gonna
sounds important. That
But
sounds important.
once we got that big shower on our heads, we're like, let's go mega shower. So we kind of, through talking to the contractors, kind of moved towards another, just kind of basic layout that Drew, and moving the shower to like the big area where the tub was. So
this is, and we'll ignore the finishes for now.
Oh yeah,
but this is where you ended up. This is
that's
kind
where
of
we're
the
at
design.
currently.
No tub.
What's that?
No
Is the tub completely gone?
Yeah, getting rid of the tub is pretty much what we end up.
Josh, is it possible for you to make the tub, the new shower, let's say 42 to the end of the wall where the office closet is? Line up the wall?
Get rid of the closet, or you mean just scoot it out some?
No. Pull out, the shower from 36, pull it down another few inches to line up with the wall of your closet so it's bigger.
Yeah, I think that's possible. I'll have to look.
There is a window there, isn't there, Josh?
Yes, there's a window along there that I did not draw. So I'm giving you bad information.
But I see what you're saying, Nava. It gives you cleaner lines if you take that.
Yeah, but it's also 42 wide as opposed to 36 wide.
It goes from a 2-person shower to a 3-person shower.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, a 3-person shower is perfect.
Yeah. I'll have to look into it and see how. I need to take basically something to go across from that edge of that wall over. And yeah, that's a great idea. I'll have to look at it and see if it'll hit the window or not.
That gets you out of a lot of weird cuts. Isn't that right, Nava? It's
not just the weird. I'm just looking at the fact that the shower is wider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't see any weird cuts really. If
anything, anytime I see an out corner that's not changing.
Yeah, of course you don't need it there.
Yeah. If you can get away with it, that could be helpful.
The room is big. And also, how do you enter that bathroom? There's no door going into it.
Oh crap. You're right. I drew that too quickly, didn't I? Yeah, so imagine
you don't need to make the shower bigger.
You have to be able to walk into the bathroom to
that makes sense.
Right.
So the wall here is just a short wall by the sink. I'm assuming
the sink
that's
between
a case
the sink and the
opening.
closet. The way
Yeah. So
going back to here,
I can't believe I don't have a door.
That door should be there. Yes.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you draw stuff at 3 in the morning.
When I called you yesterday, the very last. Well, I think you're obviously sometimes when you're in a renovation, the existing conditions kind of dictate your layout, right? And
right.
And so working with what you had here, you're not going to change the closet. Really, the biggest plumbing thing, it was moving the toilet and the shower, because really the shower, you're just moving the drain from the tub drain over there, and but the biggest thing is moving the waste from your shower.
And truth be told, I don't know if you could see in that video, but I don't know if I'll be able to put the toilet as I show it there.
Okay.
And because of the way the joists and the drain lines are laid out, I'm going to have to get a plumber in to give me their professional opinion. I've had 2 contractors come in and say, hey, it's no problem. We do that all the time. But
Josh, if you leave the toilet where it is, why do you need to move it?
I guess the reason we wanted to move it to that room was just so you wouldn't be sitting on the toilet staring at someone in the shower. That's the only reason.
Okay, well, let me ask, who showers while somebody's on the toilet? I'm just
but yeah, you're kind of right. I mean,
I think you'll see it from the other side too, but you'll save yourself a lot of money not moving the toilet.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, so would you recommend leaving the toilet where it is and having it, face the shower then?
Yeah, you can have another cabinet there.
Just make
maybe a shallow cabinet if you need.
Okay. Yeah, make that enclosure into
Ooh,
like
sauna.
more of a
Sauna. I vote sauna.
Stand-up sauna. All right.
They make those like yeah, you can buy the kits.
I'll do it. We'll get a Finnish. Like it's a Finland thing, right?
Yeah, I mean I'm sure somebody is listening right now that sells those that all you got to do is do a video about it and maybe they'll send you one. So we're putting out a plea to send Josh a sauna to put in his bathroom so he doesn't have to move his toilet, and then he can sit on the toilet and look at the shower.
So we could do a whole spa bathroom, including in the shower you could do a steam.
Yes. So you got a sauna and then a steam.
There you go.
Man, I'm coming to stay at your house.
I'll just be sweating all the time.
I just got a write-up in Newsday, like a 2-page write-up, a really nice one about spa bathrooms. So I could send that to you so you can get some hints over there.
And that's it. Sounds like you need a different contractor now.
I need an all-in-one spa contract.
You might as well enjoy it, enjoy it for a long time to come. So you might as well do whatever you wish, whatever you want.
That's right. You're not moving anytime soon. So, well, Nava, what's the next step? Once, let's say we solidify the layout and how we're doing right now. So
what he's doing is right. He's supposed to speak to a few contractors and find out how they work, if he likes them, how much they each charge, and be careful of the lowest and the highest and try to get something that makes sense to you.
Right.
And I would get a very detailed proposal so that you're not surprised. Like if you talk about, let's say, heat under the floor, you want to make sure it's included in there. If you are talking about 6 hi-hats, make sure it doesn't say 4 hi-hats, etc. That kind of thing. And the next thing I would do with my client is I take them shopping for plumbing. I go to one of those big places, which I like, and I always have my favorite people to deal with, and they advise us in the store, what's in the showroom or whatever, what's new and what exactly you want and what type of shower. For instance, showers today are insane. Literally, you can be in your kitchen and on your phone, you can dial your shower on and whatever else you want going on in the shower. And I'm not kidding. Go to a Kohler showroom as an example, or any of the others. I don't know which ones you have around you, and see what they have today in showers. It'll blow your mind and your pocketbook. So be careful. But I want to kind of reiterate from a contractor's perspective. You're exactly right. I was told a good friend of mine when I started my own business, I used to just do a 1-line item lump sum. Yeah.
And my friend said, "Hey, listen, I appreciate that. Your price is right, but I'd rather see you break out everything."
Sure. Not because you want to check them, but because you want to make sure it's all included.
That's right. Because I could forget something.
And then,
a perfect example was the floor heat.
In there, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing.
Yeah. Right. But I will say one of the places I would never cut corners is on the plumbing.
Plumbing, you know what I always say to my clients, you buy a cheap faucet, and then the following year you have to get a plumber and a faucet. And the next one is going to be an expensive one. So be careful, because that's really, get the right faucet, get a very good faucet. And the faucetry for the shower is a whole, thing. You have to be explained exactly what you need, and thermostatics and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I'll be happy to talk to you in private if you want, but there's a lot to know. And then of course you want to pick out your toilets. There's all kinds of toilets these days. Some of them smarter than we are. And you come into the room and they literally talk to you. It's ridiculous. The seat is hot and it flushes without you, all that kind of good stuff, or just a plain toilet for $200. So it goes anywhere from $200 to $8,000. And then all the other plumbing that you need, like sinks and towel bars and toilet paper holders, and I have a whole list of everything that I need. And I try to go over as much as possible in one meeting, and then we go over it again and see if we want to change anything. Once we get the pricing, sometimes we have to change things. They're too expensive, and give yourself a second choice as well. You could tell, the people in the store that you want a not so expensive choice and a more expensive choice, something like that, whatever it is that you want to spend. And the next thing we do is we go for tile or flooring. Sometimes it's wood floor, sometimes it's tile floors. So we go to these places and we choose all these colors. And once we have all these colors together, we try to put it together as a color scheme.
Yeah. And I know, Josh, you and Bethany have kind of looked at some tiles, and I showed that to
I have
Nava.
a wealth of tiles right here.
Oh, did you order samples from tilebar.com?
Well, I ordered like 6
That's
samples.
a no. Okay. So
I ordered
all right.
6 samples from Tile Bar, and they
Right.
sent me all these you see here.
That's nice.
Oh,
So
wow.
I apologize to whoever order this was. They
Oh,
bought,
so
like,
you got somebody else's order.
yeah.
Oh,
I did. No, I got my order too.
Oh, good.
I got both of them, so
Awesome.
it's awesome.
Well,
I got way more options. Like
that's good. Hey, that's Tile Bar, above and beyond. We'll ship
Yeah.
you not only
and
your
and
order,
a
but somebody
gummy.
else's order.
Do you know you guys send a packet of gummies? Like
Yes.
they always send a little surprise in there. Yeah.
There's a little, I mean,
opened it,
sometimes it's
I'm
a
like,
shot glass, sometimes it's some gummies.
That's right. Right.
I opened it. I thought it was a joke. I'm like, is Craig like messing with me here somehow?
No,
And then
that
it had
goes
like the
out
little
every
sticker
time.
on the back. I'm like, what? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Now, Nava, when you order samples, do you do it direct from Tile Bar, or do you use Material Bank, or both?
I just do it from Tile Bar. I just speak to Steve, and he sends me whatever.
Good.
I want.
Good job, Steve. Shout
Yeah,
out to Steve.
Yeah.
Well, I know Bethany and Josh kind of looked at some stuff, so I put it on here. So
I have
Nava,
it here, too.
if you have these clients that come and said, "Hey, we like this scheme,"
Yeah.
what's your first thoughts?
I really like is it the floor tile on the right? Yeah, the floor tile.
Yeah.
I really like it because you can add anything else you want on the walls. It really doesn't. Yeah, I see
I don't
that,
know if
Josh.
you can, I don't know if you
Yeah.
can see any texture
What's
or
the
anything.
size of
But,
it? What's the size of it
so
approximately?
this is 12 by 24.
Oh, that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
It's this one's small. Like the piece they give you is like they chopped it, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, of
not
course,
this
it's a
size,
sample.
but I
Yeah,
understand what
yeah.
shipping costs.
So before the show started, Craig and I were just chatting for a little bit, and I was talking about how to lay out the tile for the walls and not to leave it to who knows who is going to put your tile on the wall. Because
Okay.
I never know for sure. I do use the same contractors most of the time, but even they sometimes use different tile men or different plumbers. It's not always the same people. So I
Gotcha.
always make a layout of those tiles. And the simplest way to explain to you, since you do some drawings, this is what I did to show you what it could have been, for instance, in your bathroom, okay? So
Okay.
coincidentally, we picked the same size. Don't look at the 16 and a half, but it's 24 by 12 tiles, okay?
Right.
And if you want it to be brick style, right, not just straight line going down,
Mhm.
when you draw it with, the way I do it is 12 by 24 plus I overlap it with another 1/32 of an inch for grout, because from two sides 1/32 makes it 1/16.
Okay.
So I pick out each tile with its 1/32 of a tile and I put them together, and then I lay it out so that there's no little broken tiles on each side. So it turns out with this layout, if you have that size of wall, which is the original wall, it would be starting from the right side and the top. You're always starting on the top with a full tile because that's where your eye shows, okay? Where your eye is looking at the top. It's not looking really at the bottom. If it looks at the bottom and there's like half a tile, it's no big deal. It's kind of like a floor board or something.
Gotcha.
So I always prefer to see full tiles where my eyes are looking. And as you see, I started with a full tile on the right, and I was left over with a 16 and a half, which was fine. But if I was left over with 3 inches, I would try to push it around and see which way is it the least. So what happened actually here is that the tile on the right, and you can't even see, I had to steal about 2 inches from it in order to make it 16 and a half. Otherwise, it would have been almost a sliver. Maybe it was more than 2 inches. I don't remember. Otherwise, it would have been like a very small piece at the end. So
Gotcha.
on the right, it looks like it's 24, but it's actually smaller than 24 to make the
Yeah,
16 and a half a
little
little
bit.
bigger. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, and Josh, that I know that
go ahead.
originally
Sorry.
you kind of looked at maybe a 3x9 or something, but the
Sorry,
same
I
process.
made a mistake. This is the one this is it. It's 4
Yeah,
by
for the
12.
walls. Yeah,
For the walls.
But the
I
theory
got
and the
confused into the
process
floor.
it would be the same, Nava, right? It's
Same
just,
idea, yes.
yeah, same
Today, for
idea.
instance, yeah, I did actually this morning. I went down to meet the tile guy. He's doing a basement, a very small bathroom for me, and the shower there is 36 by 36, and the tile happens to be 9. So with the lip of the shower, it was actually so that it was maybe it was like 4 tiles on one side and 4 tiles on the other side. It was just overlapping, kind of, So it worked out perfectly, actually, where we didn't have to cut any tiles. But if we do have to cut a tile and we need a Schluter or a miter on the edge, be careful with the porcelain tiles, because when you miter them, they chip and they become very sharp. So you want to do maybe some sort of another tile if they have a rounded tile. If not, it would be like a Schluter or something like that. So so the same thing with the floor. You always want to, when you come in, as you're looking into your bathroom, for instance, I did a 12 by 12 just to show you. So if you're looking in from the outside, you want to see full tiles.
Right.
So what happened was, in this particular case, you see, I have at the entrance, I have about 4.5 inches because of the wall. So that's going to be basically a piece of marble or granite or whatever we choose for the countertop, and like a quartz or something like that. So I put another one right between the 2 rooms, because that way the full tile is laid out without giving me a 4-inch piece. So it's tricks, you kind of play with tricks of how to cover up imperfections.
Now, so you put a transition between the okay.
Yeah, and that's really just to break up the room so you don't have any slivers. Now, Nava, if he decides to go with the 12 by 24, we were always taught you run it the long way against the longest wall, but
no, not necessarily, because if you go the other direction, you're widening the room.
Oh, okay.
So it's something that is job by job, depending on the job. Here he has 2 squares, so it's not so hard, because it doesn't matter which direction you go in 2 squares. But if you keep the doors open, you don't want to just look at one long piece. You want to make the room look wider. Okay.
So maybe run it with the length of the tub.
If it's 12 by 24. But I don't know what size he's going to end up using for the floor. Is that the same tile?
Sorry, I messed up. I thought you said floor, and I just grabbed one. So the floor, and it's confusing because this is a smaller cut. This is the floor, and it's 12 by 24.
Okay, so you do it side to side.
Okay.
So to make the room, try to make the room look longer.
Wider.
So
perpendicular to what you're when you're walking in.
Perpendicular to the vanity.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, right to left, left to right, right to left.
Now, does other than just your complete, if you like it or don't like it, do you prefer a stack joint or a broken joint? What do you like best?
If usually straight lines are more modern, contemporary.
Okay.
And the brick pattern is more traditional.
Okay.
So, and also you just consult with the client, see what they like.
Josh, are you traditional or are you contemporary?
I don't know.
Okay. That's good.
In which case,
I think I'm Baptist. I'm just kidding.
You're Baptist. And you're traditional. Let me just say
that. Non-denominational. So you're saying when you said just a stacked joint, what do you mean?
So a stack.
One on top of the exactly the straight line going across. So it's
okay.
One on top of the other on top of the other.
So what you're looking at here is a stack joint,
offset,
and then this is an offset joint or a staggered joint.
Okay, I like for the walls. I was thinking offset because I'm just used to the subway tile look just like that.
So
that's more traditional.
Okay.
Yeah, that's more traditional.
It is more traditional.
What about herringbone? Is that just bad?
Herringbone is beautiful. I love herringbone.
Bad for the installer. I'll tell you.
It's bad for the installer.
Your price just went up a lot.
It's more for installation, yeah, for sure. Because they have to do a lot of cuts, so you also have a lot of extra tile that you need. Instead of using usually 10%, you need more like 25% to 30%.
I see.
So
There's
a lot of extra tile, but
Yeah,
it is
herringbone's
beautiful.
out.
Now, since we're talking about things I don't know about, herringbone, I would think would be traditional.
It's more traditional, but it's also elegant. So it's also it really depends on the whole layout.
Gotcha.
I do it in both, actually. It's very elegant and beautiful.
So with
would
the
you-
color
Go ahead,
that
Craig. Sorry.
I was gonna say, with the colors that he's chosen, this palette's pretty. I would say, I don't know if you call that neutral or it's
Yep.
pretty basic.
It's hashtag basic.
It's neutral and it's beautiful. And you know what? It doesn't have to be something unusual necessarily if it's nice and elegant. And remember, he has to choose also what he's doing with the vanity. And that'll give him an option of doing anything he wants, either paint or a wood. So having a background that's neutral is actually very helpful.
Yeah. Well, he mentioned on his video that was too long to play, or I would play it.
Oh, sorry. I was going to ask you if you had to play that video or not.
No, it was like 2 minutes long.
Oh, shoot.
We'd lose
seconds.
all of our viewers. But you mentioned the idea of possibly adding an accent wall behind the vanity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I've often seen, looking at thousands of photos of tiles, a lot of times that's used as a pop of color or a different, like at my mom's house, we had pretty traditional tile, but we put a wood background behind it. Nava, what would you say if they wanted to experiment with something behind the vanity? What would you do?
Behind the vanity is mostly mirror. I mean, I don't know if you're going to do, by the way, a lit mirror. That's something for you to look at because that's very good. And it just kind of saves you the sconces on the side.
Yeah.
So and those are great. I have to say, I really love them. I like to do a special kind of wall somewhere in the shower. And when you come into your bathroom, you're going to see that shower in the background. So that
especially when you're sitting on the toilet.
Exactly.
Gazing at it.
Seriously, you're gonna see that wall all the way from the beginning. So I think that's a good place to put it. Now, if you buy something very expensive like a mosaic, I frame it with the regular tile, so it's not so huge, but you still get the beautiful picture that you've framed over there.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. I think the vanity, I don't love to do anything except for a frame around a plane mirror because it just, you don't see that much of it. Number one. Number two, you have the vanity, you have the faucetry, you have the mirrors. So you don't need so much going on there. But by the top, there's a big wall that's nothing. There's nothing there. You might want to create a big niche there too, any kind of shape that you want, and then put it into the niche. So that's where I would definitely focus.
Going back to his, we'll talk about his shower floor, which is, a lot of people are going with this river rock pebble look for the shower floor. And Nava, you said you really like that because
I do.
Feels like
I have that in my shower, and one of my showers, and I love it. I said to Craig before, I feel like it's shiatsu. It's like you feel like your feet are getting a massage while you're standing in the shower. So I really like that.
I like the most, like the texture of it. I was like, I just can't even imagine how this is going to feel my feet.
Stand on it. I make the people stand on it in the showroom. I make them take their socks off and stand on it and feel it.
So, but it's a pretty contrasting, going from that to your white walls. Is that a good idea?
Yeah, that's fine.
And
we're thinking of putting that same, like they see the grout color in the shower floor. We're thinking of putting that same grout color in like the shower wall to kind of tie them together. Would that be too matchy, or should I leave the floor?
It depends. So we'll have to discuss that one, in private when you show me all the materials, or maybe John will send me all the materials and then I'll advise you more.
Okay.
That's a good idea. Because I would, I mean, we'll just talk in general. If you've got your bath floor, that 12 by 24, and you're going with, I always suggest, because I'm a contractor, a matching color, not a contrasting color, kind of match the main body of the tile that gives it a seamless look. And then when you move into your shower, I'm assuming, I've never seen anybody do a contrasting cover with river rocks, but probably has been done. And then you move into your white wall. you do have the option of going with a contrasting color. I don't like that option, but it kind of be nice to tie everything together.
That decision was mainly driven by not wanting to clean grout. So you get a darker gray color in the shower floor and put that same in the grout on the walls, and that was like the main reason.
Well, we definitely like to put a little bit darker color for sure because of that reason, especially on the floor where it gets dirty very quickly.
Yeah.
But I think that we're talking about the contrast of black and white, and actually the basement bathroom that I'm doing right now, it's really tiny, and the tile actually in it on the floor has like a drawing of black in a white tile. So, and it's very interesting. So I decided actually inside the shower to put a black grout on a white tile for the first time in a very, very long time, because also all our faucets are black and our shower door has black, all the rails and everything is black. So I thought that actually would look really cool, but it's a small amount of tile. It's 36 by 36. So, you know what I'm saying? The shower is 36 by 36. It's very small.
Yes.
We literally took a closet out of the basement and made another bathroom. There.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after let's just pretend we've solidified our tile decisions. What would be the next stage of development? We know we got our faucets that we picked out.
Right.
We picked out our tile.
Right.
What's next?
Contractor got the place.
Contractor. How do you choose vanities and countertops? Do you normally kind of do
forgot
those?
all about that. We designed a vanity very early on because those usually our vanities are custom. Okay. So there's very limited sizes otherwise. If you buy a vanity, and the quality is not quite as good either unless you custom make it.
Or buy it from tilebar.com. I'm just saying. Throwing that out there.
So we ordered a vanity, which means we discussed what we need in the vanity. We ordered a vanity. Josh, I have to tell you that something that I love to do, which not necessarily gets done all the time, is I love to put an outlet somewhere inside the vanity so that I can plug in my hairdryer and never have to plug it in and out. And it just sits into that one drawer or one door. And that's its place. That's
man, you know what? I actually almost sent that picture to Craig. That was one of my projects that I've already done.
Yeah.
That was one of the things. My wife has the same problem where there's always been a hairdryer on top of the counter.
Right.
And it's not good, but there's an outlet in there because I was redoing all the electrical, right? So it was easy enough to put an outlet in that vanity.
Yeah.
And the plan is just to retop that vanity anyway, so we could pick whatever stone or whatever, and so the vanity's staying. So I've already done that.
Okay.
Good.
Well, Nava, here's my design because I'm doing my my master bathroom soon.
Okay.
My thought is I want to have my vanity as a flat vanity. We have double sinks and a cabinet on top of the vanity that goes up.
Okay.
And then have places for all. I
You
mean, my
can
wife
do that too. Yes.
Yeah.
And then have the plugs inside because my wife has all sorts of things to plug in. I mean, there's a hair dryer, there's a spatula tool thing, and all of that plugs in.
Toothbrushes, the electric toothbrushes.
For your cooking while you're in the bathroom.
Yeah, something. Is that done? Does that make sense?
We do it in the kitchen all the time. We have these countertop cabinets that all the small appliances go in there.
Yeah.
And then we just close it up so it doesn't show and we don't, see the mess.
That's what I want to do. That's my dream is to have everything where it's plugged in and you just shut the door.
But I'll give you a little hint about those countertop cabinets.
Okay.
You always should have an additional piece of countertop 3/4 inch thick going underneath that cabinet. This way, when you wipe the cabinet, you don't ruin it. Not the cabinet, when you wipe the countertop.
You're not constantly putting water on.
Yes. And if it's very traditional, we put the actual edge, the same
like
edge.
OG or something.
OG or whatever. Yeah. And if it's contemporary, it's just straight.
Aha. Good to know. See, I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's All right, let's see. John Tedesco says some of our James Martin vanities have an outlet already in the drawer.
Oh, there you go.
Tilebar.com.
man.
James Martin.
That's right.
But Josh, sounds like you
Dang.
just retrofitted yours. Are you going to paint it? Is that the
I'm undecided. Like Nava was saying, like depend on the top, it may or may not match the wood, so then I could paint it if I need to. But right now it's kind of a neutral wood, and that's another thing that we picked out with the floor. It's kind of got a beige color, and some would say brown in that floor.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of trying to match, but I don't know. We could always paint it. I've done that before. So
yes,
Yeah.
or stain it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then so now it sounds like all we need is some contractors and to get going.
Yeah, I need you to talk me down, Craig. So I have contractors that have given me prices to do all of it. But you know me, I'm a do-it-yourself guy. So
yeah.
should I do it or should I just drop the check? That's where I'm at right now. Like, I don't know.
Well, that is a personal question that probably better discussed with your wife rather than me. But
True.
Email me the pricing. I'd love to look at it and just and see where pricing is. And
it's very tempting because it's just like, hey, I've gotten this far and they can take it the rest of the way.
And that is very
I'm
tempting.
also a control freak, so so how about
Nava,
tiling?
do you ever have any clients that want to attempt stuff on their own?
I had one client, and it popped in my head when you mentioned that. And he had a plumber. I mean, he had the contractor with a plumber and everything. And the plumber was ready to install the toilet the next day. And when he came, lo and behold, the toilet was there installed by the client. But he forgot to put that rubber gasket underneath it.
Oh no, that's going to be a
it ended
messy
up costing
mistake.
him more because
Oh, sure, yeah.
take it out.
Yeah, and the only thing, Josh, I would say, I know you're talented. You're an engineer, and the tricky thing is the shower plumbing. That is the
right.
that is where my comfort level goes. Even though which is so crazy to me. I'm scared to plumb my shower, but I plumbed my 200-gallon propane tank under my house. Myself, which I had zero experience with, and it's gas. But the house hasn't blown up yet, so I don't know if I'm the best person to ask.
Here's a question. Maybe you could answer. So if I got a quote from someone that had like 5 things left on it, right? Drywall, plumbing, subfloor, and tiling. Oh, and the shower system. But tiling, what percentage do you think that tiling would be? Because that's where you got your expertise of a project. What percentage would you say that tiling normally takes up? Does that make sense?
I mean, Nava may be best to answer this, but in the residential world, or just in the construction world, the finishes are normally the smallest part of it. Your plumbing, your electrical is going to be the biggest chunk of your budget normally. Now, a bathroom has a lot of tile in it, and plumbing and waterproofing systems aren't cheap. So I'm guessing that it's 40% of the job.
Okay. The tiling would be 40%.
That's why you need to ask for line items. So that because we don't really know. I mean, I've been doing this for so long, but yet I cannot tell you how much your tile is going to be.
Okay, that's the next step.
I just go by what they give me. But the way I would figure it out, and that's how I figure out jobs that I do around my house, is that how much time is it going to take me? Am I going to have the time? And does it pay? And if it's going to be, let's say, a painter, and I can paint, but if it's going to take me 3 weeks to paint and clean up, and I'm going to start hating myself.
Yep.
Does it pay to do that? So,
right.
what I'm saying? And at the end, what am I saving actually? Probably nothing.
That's where I am in my life, Josh.
Yeah.
And like I have these ideas. I want to do something. I'm looking at my master bath every day. I'm like, I just should tear it out and do it. And I'm like, I know I'll get 20% into it and become frustrated and end up paying somebody to do it anyway. But
yeah,
exactly.
It is a lifestyle thing. So I would definitely ask for line items and
that sounds like a good plan.
If somebody says I don't do line items, I only do lump sum, then I would say that's a red flag.
Stay away. Yeah, stay away.
Yeah, I will say both of the quotes so far I've got, they have everything, like you're saying. They have lines of that include everything we talked about, but there's not this cost.
Breakdown. You can ask for breakdown. You are totally within your right to ask for a total breakdown. Because maybe you have your own electrician. Maybe your best friend is an electrician.
Right.
Or a tile guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You know,
I got this online podcast that wants to help me, so I need to break it out. Well, cool. Well, we're coming to the end of our time. Josh, thanks for bringing us a project. Let me know what your next steps are and how I can help you. If you're gonna leave your toilet where it is, or you're gonna move it to the closet,
we'll see.
We'll see. Nava, thank you again. I look forward next time I'm in New York, stopping by and saying hey face to face. And I appreciate you jumping in and helping us. And so we will see you both next time.
Okay.
Okay. Wait a minute. Josh, I know. I made a banner for you. If anybody wants to follow Josh's stuff, he is at YouTube at Josh of All Trades, and he does a little bit of everything. You know, he's fixing his air conditioner, he's rewiring his house, and too
much stuff.
Putting out the fires that he starts. So if you want to follow Josh, make sure you follow him. Throw a like and a comment and a subscription his way, so we can see what happens next. Josh,
I lost you guys. I don't know why.
We still see you.
Oh, okay.
We see you, Nava.
Okay.
So Josh, I will talk to you later, and stay cool. Nava, thank you for being here. Do you mind if somebody wants to employ you, if I throw your email address up there, how they can get in touch with you?
Yes, of course.
So this is you, and where you are in New York, but you're not in the city. You're
Roslyn? In Roslyn, Long Island, but I'm in the city all the time also. We have clients all over.
Okay. So if you want Nava's amazing help, obviously you just email her and tell her you saw us on the Tile Happy Hour. It will probably not get you anything, but if you tell her that, I'll send you something. So, but Nava, I thank you for being on with us and helping out. This was fun. I learned something, and I know everybody out there did. And so we appreciate you. Have a good evening. And everybody else, thanks for watching. You're amazing. You look great. I mean, I'm looking at you right now. You look amazing. I had a great time tonight talking with Josh and Nava. It is fun to see the project come together. Pray for Bethany, because she's been without her bathroom for a while, but we're going to get you through there. We're going to get to it. And John, I hope you're traveling well. It's good to see you online. I see you typing, but you must be riding the bus. John's going to wish you peace, health, and happiness. And I'm going to say, as we all just keep on keeping on and learn to love each other and keep learning together and tile the world.